Hi, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Salad Series. This is going to come live to you on my Instagram on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m. And I have planned, I think, 14 episodes. So I'll see you around for around 3 to 4 weeks here, same time, and Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I think a lot of you follow me via my blog and via my Instagram for quite some time. But for those of you who have recently joined in or have started following me, just to keep track of this series here, I'd like to give a brief introduction about myself. So I'm Nandita Iyer. I live in Bangalore. I've studied medicine, but I have full-time moved into food, healthy eating, and writing cookbooks and writing my column, and mainly food writing, and focus on healthy vegetarian cooking. My book Everyday Healthy Vegetarian, published by Hachette, is available on Amazon and bookstores, so you can check that out as well. And my blog is saffrontrail.com, and I've been writing on it since nearly 15 years now. So you'll find a lot of recipes and salad recipes, salad related information on my blog as well. So for those of you who are keen on finding out the recipes, which I will link up to the relevant recipes and the posts on my blog once this live is over. So I'm so happy all of you are joining in for this today, and I hope by the end of these 14 episodes you'll have a good idea on how to make salads like a pro, and you'll enjoy making them and eating them and feeding them to your family. So let's get started. Yes, hello everybody. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Today's episode is all about how to build a salad, but I would like to talk about what is a salad exactly. So if you Google for the definition of a salad, or you go on Wikipedia, it tells you that a salad is a dish with at least one raw ingredient, and it usually has a dressing or a sauce, and it's usually served cold or at room temperature, although very few salads are served warm as well, such as the German potato salad. So that's the absolute basic definition of what exactly is a salad. And now that we have talked about what is a salad, a salad, of course, we're looking at the different components that are going to make a salad today. So that's what the episode is about. So we'll talk about the different kinds of salads, the different components that you should be thinking about when you want to make your salad in the different combinations, and also looking at the health aspects like carbs, proteins, fruits and vegetables, which provide micronutrients, fiber, etc. So the first part is why eat a salad? Why should we be eating salads in the first place? One, of course, it's healthy, it's good for you. And I'm not talking about the salads that are drenched in mayo, because obviously those are, even sometimes more higher calorie and higher fat, and it's not even as healthy as our regular food. So I'm looking at salads which are made fresh, light, so they're definitely healthy for us. The second thing is fiber. Now, fiber is an extremely important component of our diet, and the more processed food we eat, we lose out on fiber. And most salads provide both soluble as well as insoluble fiber. Now, insoluble fiber straight passes through the gut, and it helps keep our gut healthy. And soluble fiber, it helps in keeping our blood sugar regulated, prevents spikes in blood sugar when you eat a salad for a meal. And it also helps in keeping our bad cholesterol levels low. So fiber, of course, it has many other benefits, but these are the main two benefits of eating enough fiber in our diet. And salad is a great way to include a lot of fiber in our diet. The second, of course, there is no salad without green leafy vegetables or fruits and fresh vegetables. So it's full of micronutrients, which includes vitamins and minerals. So it's a great way to get them in a very natural form, because a lot of water soluble vitamins, they the concentration goes down when you cook, and some of them entirely lose the vitamins when the dish is heated or when the dish is cooked. So salads are a great way to consume these vitamins in their natural form and in their best possible way. Uh, Thirdly, salads are the best way to consume food in a most fresh form. Like, if your vegetables are slightly wilted or something, you can make a sabzi or something out of it. But in a salad, there's no place to hide. Everything has to be absolutely fresh. And, so that's one way of consuming food in a very fresh form. Which is why I always think that restaurants charge a bomb for salads, because they have to use the produce that has come in that very day. They have to buy the best quality produce to put in a salad, because there's no way they can fool with something that's a slightly older, or make do with something that's been around for a few days in the fridge. So the best way to make it at home is to just buy your vegetables, and when you prepare something the same day, you realize how fresh the food is. The fourth thing is that salads are a great way to consume healthy fats. Now, when we cook, we end up heating our fats to saute, fry our vegetables and all other dishes. But in salads, oils, when they're used raw for the dressing. So it's a great way to consume healthy fats, and also not just oils, but also ingredients like say coconut, avocado, nuts, seeds. These are all natural sources of fats, and your body needs these fats to absorb the fat soluble vitamins and also a lot of other important functions in the body. So it's a great way to consume healthy fats, and we need quite a bit of that in our diet as well. Then, of course, the vegetables and fruits that are eaten fresh, they are also, their water content is quite high. So it's a great way to stay hydrated, which is why it also gives you a great skin. And, regularly eating salads, both the fiber, keeping your gut healthy, all these put together. A lot of green leafy vegetables are very rich in vitamin K. So that's also very important for women, because, post menopause, you lose your bone density. So vitamin K helps in keeping your bone density stronger. So it's always good to include a few green leafy vegetables in your daily diet, and salads are a great way to do that. And I think the other practical aspect of why eat salad is that it's easy to make it even for one person, even though rest of your family members may want to eat something else. But if you have kept some ingredients prepped in the fridge, and you have a few other, like nuts or seeds, it's just easy to toss together something for yourself, which is really healthy. And in one bowl, it has all the components of a balanced diet. You can have your, complex carbs. You can have a protein. You can have your micronutrients from your fruits and vegetables. You can have your healthy fats. So literally, instead of making 5 different dishes to eat a lunch or a dinner, you can actually just mix everything in a bowl, and it's like a healthy, balanced meal in a bowl. So these are the reasons why, eating salad is good for you. So I guess you are all already convinced about it, which is why you have joined this live. So, but it's just nice to recap and remind ourselves. Are you able to hear me? Someone just said unable to hear anything. So I think it's a bit late in the day to ask if you guys can hear me, but I would rather confirm that before proceeding. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. So now that we have figured out why eat salads, let's come to the 2 main kinds of salads, which is tossed and compost. Now, you might have heard these terms thrown around in articles or, like websites and stuff. So what is this tossed and compost? So it's pretty simple. Tossed salad is where we mix all the ingredients with the dressing in the bowl, and it's ready to eat. And a compost salad is where you lay out all the ingredients separately on the platter, and you keep the dressing on the side. So I think compost salads are very Instagram friendly. You'll see a lot of those on my feed, and especially if they're colorful, you don't want to mix everything and like make a big khichdi out of it. You want to showcase all the ingredients separately, and especially when you have ingredients like beets or the red dragon fruit, which is one of my favorites. When you mix everything together, everything gets tinged red and it doesn't look too appetizing. So you can't really make out what ingredients are there in your salad, which is why I love compost salads. And when you're ready to eat, you can just take some portion of each of the ingredients and then mix it in the dressing in your own bowl. And also some other people who don't want dressing on their salad, who want dressing on their side, is good to have a compost salad, because people can add how much ever dressing they want. And like in a tossed salad, you already added everything and mixed everything, so there's no option of not having the dressing. So that's the difference between tossed and compost. And in tossed salad, there's another interesting variety that you should know about. It is called the chopped salad. Now, chopped salad, if you go on the internet, it has a lot of haters because they feel that this is like a complete ruin of a salad. This is basically all the ingredients are chopped very finely, and then they are tossed in the dressing and served. So, the points that the people who dislike this say that this completely loses the texture. You can't pick out your favorite ingredients and eat it in the order that you want to eat. And when you add the dressing, it just gets all gloopy and like one big mess. So this is literally like a khichdi of a salad. And also the people who are for the chopped salad say that it is easier to eat because everything is well mixed, and especially the green leafy vegetables are all finely chopped. So you don't like you're not struggling with big leaves and big chunks of bell pepper or onions, and everything is finely chopped. So those are the kinds. So it's tossed and compost, and chopped salad is one kind of tossed salad. Okay. So now the other two kinds of salads that we can talk about are leafy salads and compound salads. So a leafy salad is nothing but a green salad. It's also called green salad in restaurants and stuff. So it's mainly, it has a mix of green leafy vegetables, and it doesn't have other ingredients. Whereas a compound salad has green leaves, but it also has other vegetables, fruits, nuts, sometimes meat, all kinds of things. And but don't confuse this green salad with the green salad we get in Indian restaurants, which is nothing but cucumbers, carrots, tomatoes, and all laid out with a chili and lemon. That's not a green salad in the true sense of the word. That's just the term that we have adapted to, and that's used by Indian restaurants. But that's really not a green salad. It's just sliced vegetables. So let's come to the components. So we talked about two kinds of salads, which are tossed and tossed and compost, and the other two categories, which is the leafy salad and the compound salad. And let's look at the different components of the salad, which is, one is the base. So the base is typically like if you take a big bowl and you put in ingredients at the bottom. Usually it's the fresh green leaves, lettuce, or whatever greens that you're using for your salad is what is the base. Sometimes when I'm using grains like millet or rice in the salad, I like to put it at the base because when I add the dressing, these grains the grains absorb all the extra dressing. It adds a lot of flavor to the grains, and two, it prevents the salad from getting soggy because grains have this tendency to absorb any excess moisture. So these are two advantages of using the grains as a base. The first is the base. So the next is the body. So the body has all the ingredients which you would use, like say bell peppers, cucumber, or anything else that you're going to add to your salad. Say boiled eggs. So that forms the bulk of your salad, minus the greens and the grains. And the third is the garnish. Now this is what you would like to be seen on top of your salad, and things like toasted nuts, seeds, cheese, edible flowers. Now the nuts, seeds and seeds, if you mix everything with the bulk of the salad, they tend to become very soggy. So you want them to be just served on the top just before you eat, so that it retains its crunchiness. And cheese, if you mix everything, it tends to just crumble and you will not even realize that there's cheese in the salad. So again, it's always good to put it on each individual's bowl or plate just before serving. So, and you also don't want to overdo on the cheese. So you want to just give a small portion per person. So it's best to, serve it separately on the top. Yeah. So I'll get to all your questions at the end. I am kind of keeping a note of them. And regarding dressing and lots of other things, each one has its own episode. So if you follow the series, we'll come to that one by one. Literally every topic is covered in detail. Yeah. So now the dressing. So we talked about the base, we talked about the body of the salad, then the garnish, and now it's the dressing. So the dressing is like the sauce, the condiment, the seasoning, everything is in the dressing. If I just give anybody a bunch of leaves and raw vegetables and say, okay, eat the salad, it is going to be very unappetizing and boring, and nobody wants to eat that, right? So the dressing is where the real action is in a salad, and you want a real good flavorful dressing which adds that juiciness and makes it appetizing. And why do we all love restaurant salads? Because they're very generous with the dressing, and when we make it at home, we are not bit conjuice and we don't add so much dressing because we want to not have so much olive oil, and you don't want to make it overloaded with oil and honey and everything. But yeah, dressing adds a lot of flavor, and it is the real deal. As long as you can make a great dressing, trust me, every salad is going to be super appetizing. Okay, so now coming to the interesting part and the main part of this talk, how to build a salad. Now, in all my salad workshops, and I used to conduct plenty of those earlier until I stopped for some reasons. When I would say this, people would be like shocked, and they say, where have we come? Are we in the right place for the salad workshop? I would always say that making a good salad is like making a good chaat. Now, if you think about what I've said, why do we all love chaat? Like, you think about chaat and your mouth starts watering. Am I right? So, why? Because chaat has all the flavors, it has all the colors, it has all the different textures, which is what gives it that irresistible quality. And you're never going to say enough after eating like one spoon of a bhel or like one golgappa or pani puri. So you want to bring those same qualities to a salad. I'm not saying add your sev and papdi and everything to your salad, but think about the textures, the flavors, and think about the colors. And the minute you do that, your salad is going to be so appetizing. And trust me, you will be able to eat a salad every single day. So that's the aim of our 14 episode series, in which we want to make salads as appetizing as a chaat. If you as much as you love a chaat, I want you to love a salad. So how do we do that? Now, coming to the main components, which in fact, okay, let me finish this part and then I'll tell you. So the different components of a salad. Now, like, this is why I told you can keep a notebook and a pen if you like, so you can jot down these things. I will try and share this later on with you, but it's good to keep a note of this. To all those saying save the link, yes, I do intend to keep this as an IGTV, so you won't miss anything. You can go watch it from the beginning, no problem. All the series, the entire series is going to be saved in my Instagram TV, the folders, so you can go check it out. Okay, so how I'm going to talk you through a master table on how to build a salad. So the first component is the greens, which it is the first component, but it is optional because you can make salads without greens. Okay, so lettuce is the most obvious suspect, right? So if you type salad in Google Images, the first image you see is some lettuce. So lettuce, again, you can say you don't get lettuce where you live because because it's such a fragile thing, and the life is so short, it gets wilted so quickly. Every supermarket or online store does not stock it all the time. Even in the monsoons it gets soggy and it's rotten. So the supply chain is not great. I understand that. So all kinds of lettuce, whatever is available, go with whatever you can find. The second is spinach. Again, abroad you get baby spinach, but here mostly what is sold as baby spinach by even these gourmet stores is regular, just the smaller leaves of regular spinach, which is not what baby spinach is. It is a different variety of spinach altogether. So things like spinach, okay, especially in the monsoons, like someone is rightly pointing out, you may not want to eat these things raw. So there is absolutely no rule that says that the greens have to be eaten raw in a salad. You can lightly saute the greens, like you take your regular palak and you can saute it just for like 30 seconds to a minute until it gets wilted a bit, and then you can add it to your salad. Then other things like you don't have to depend only on the gourmet greens. You can look at things like methi. You can look at amaranth, which is called chauli. Those leaves, and the smaller leaves, every bunch will have a mix of small, medium and big leaves. So take the smaller leaves and use it in your salad, and the bigger leaves you can add it to your dal or sabzi or anything like that. Then don't forget the herbs, like sometimes we get a big bunch of coriander or mint from the market, and you just add little bit for garnishing and the rest of it goes waste. Please make use of chopped herbs, a lot of chopped herbs as the bulk of your greens for your salad. Now a salad like tabbouleh is entirely mint and parsley, and like it has a ton of chopped mint and parsley as the main bulk of the salad, other than the couscous. So feel free to chop a ton of herbs and add in your salad, and don't just think of it as a garnish. It's also a green leafy vegetable, and you can eat amaranth and methi raw. Absolutely, I've been eating for a long time. A lot of restaurants have started including it in their menu. But like I said, choose the smaller leaves. If it's very mature leaves, then it may not taste good. It'll be a bit bitter and fibrous. So then you can wilt it, or you can quickly steam it and then use it in your salad. Then also some unusual greens. I mean, some other greens, Indian greens like gongura, which is roselle. That has a sour flavor, so you can chop it up and add a little bit in your salad. Too much of it would become too strong. When you add a lot of mint and coriander, that's the flavor of the salad. Like say a tabbouleh, it is a minty salad, so that's the flavor you're going to be expecting. Yeah, sure. Kale is also a great alternative, but some leaves like kale are quite kale, Swiss chard. They are all quite tough and fibrous, unless you're looking at the baby version or the microgreen version of these leaves. So what you can do is, there's a technique called massaged kale, in which you take the kale leaves and you add some lime juice and olive oil, and you chop it up roughly, and then you really squeeze it hard, mixing it in with the salt, the olive oil and the lime. So what this does is, this starts breaking down the fibers a bit, and you let it sit for around half an hour. It actually softens, and that way it's easier to digest, and it's easier to mix it into your salad. Otherwise, you can always steam it for a bit, or you can put it in boiling water for a few seconds, and then blanch it in cold water, and then squeeze out all the water, and then chop it and use it as well. So there are different ways. So don't just think gourmet greens, and don't just think raw, and also think of herbs. So these are the different ways you can include the greens component. Now let's move on to the next component, which is carbs. Again, this is an optional component in a salad. People like Weight Watchers, they may think that I'm eating a salad to keep this low in calories. Why would I add carbs? Fair enough. So it depends on why you are eating salad. If you're eating salad to reduce your calorie content, then you can skip out the carbs. But if you're eating a salad like a meal, you're carrying it for lunch, or you're eating it instead of dinner, then I would highly recommend that you add some carbs to it, because that keeps you more filled up. And just having some leaves and some vegetables is not going to be filling enough to go for 3-4 hours, and then you'll be hungry again. So then the whole point of eating low cal is lost, right? So in carbs, again, there are plenty of fun options you can add. Of course, the very famous in US is like a pasta salad, where you can add any kind of pasta. Typically, smaller pastas are used, like penne or orzo, which is looks like a little bit like rice. So these kind of smaller pastas, or macaroni, you can use elbows. So these smaller pastas you can use in your pasta salad. Other things are like brown rice. Now you can actually cook a lot of brown rice and keep it in your fridge and add just a handful to your salad to make it just more filling, and and you don't have to cook brown rice to make a salad, because that's just too much effort and nobody's going to do that. So make sure when you cook brown rice, keep some extra in the fridge, and you can add just a handful to your salad to make it a little more bulky and filling. Then things like millets, all kinds of millets, but make sure when you cook millet for a salad, you don't put too much water, because then you're not going to get the individual grains and it's going to be clumped up, and that's not going to be appetizing in a salad. So other things like broken wheat, which is dalia, you can cook that also, similar to millets. You can use quinoa if it's easily available to you, couscous, then things like barley, and bread. Now stale bread is an excellent way. You can, like, if you buy this fancy loaf of sourdough, and you pay a lot for it, and then it gets nobody's going to eat it after a few days. It's not fresh enough, and what you do is just cut it into cubes, toss it in a little bit of olive oil and herbs and whatever spices you like, and just either on a baking tray in the oven. You can keep it for 5 minutes at around 180 or 190 degrees until you think it has gone a bit crisp and crunchy. Or if you don't have an oven, you can do it on a tawa or a heavy pan on the gas on a low flame until it becomes nice and crunchy, and then you can add this. But make sure you add it right at the end. Again, it's going to get soggy if you mix everything together. So that's another way to reuse zero waste, use up old bread in as croutons in salads. It goes very nice in Italian flavored salads. Then potato, again, in German cuisine, potato salads are very famous. So boiled potato is actually an excellent source of complex carbs, and kids love potato salads. Noodles, like Suhina is saying, of course, all kinds of noodles, great in Southeast Asian flavored salads, paired with raw mango, raw papaya, and everything grated or cut, processed as noodles. It just tastes yum with this ginger, soy, and honey dressing. Then again, crisped rotis. Any leftover rotis, again, similar to what I told you about the bread, you can crisp it up, and I have this recipe that I created for the Vogue with leftover food, and the salad I made with leftover ragi rotis, which I cut into noodles. I tossed it in a little bit of oil and put it in a baking tray until it was crisp. And these crisp noodles, I used it along with other ingredients like cucumber noodles, carrot noodles and stuff, with a chili, garlic, tamarind, jaggery kind of dressing, and it tasted amazing. So just don't let anything stop you, and don't think that, oh, this is not a classic salad, something is, I haven't had this before. But it's your salad, so feel free to experiment with any kind of carbs that you think you want to add to your salad. Okay, and so we've finished the greens component, we finished the carbs component. And now the color. Color is nothing but fruits and vegetables are what provide color to your salad. And of course, it's the major source of, antioxidants, vitamins and minerals, fiber. So this is not optional. Most definitely add whatever is in season, whatever you find in your fridge. And again, no rules. Please open your fridge and pick out one thing of each color and, add it to your salad. It's as simple as that. So if I have a cucumber, and if I have like a red cabbage, an orange carrot, and a green capsicum, and just imagine how colorful the bowl is going to be. And the more colors in your plate, the variety of phytonutrients and antioxidants you're getting. So literally, it's tough to quantify the benefits of each one, but trust me, when put together, it just provides immense health benefits. So color on your plate is everything, through natural foods, of course. So make sure you add colors. Again, when you look at vegetables, don't just think of it as raw. You can roast these vegetables with olive oil in the oven. You can use sun-dried vegetables like sun-dried tomato. You can even use steamed vegetables, because Some people feel that they can't digest raw, and if you're making for some elders in your house, make sure you use steamed vegetables. So that's totally fine, because it will not have as much nutrient as the raw, but at the end of the day you are consuming fruits and vegetables, and that's what is important, right? So make sure you include seasonal fruits. Mangoes are great in salads, both raw and ripe. Things like peaches, watermelon. You can just go all crazy. My current absolute favorite is the red dragon fruit, which, if you've seen my the salad images that I've been sharing, I just love adding that. It just adds such an amazing color that it just makes it so appetizing. So make sure you add whatever nice colorful fruits and vegetables you can. So that was the third component, which is the color component, essentially fruits and veggies. Okay. Now the fourth component, which is the very fun component and which is what makes the salad addictive like a chaat, is the crunch component. And don't get me wrong, crunch is not just from your save and papdi and stuff. You can get crunch from things like apples. And sorry to break your heart, I was not talking about fried crunchy things, but things like apples, roasted peanuts, things like roasted walnuts, roasted almonds. You can even use chicky, which is called praline, made using any nuts, be it peanuts, be it walnuts. You can actually caramelize, candy these nuts and crush it and use it, because this is a very commonly used topping in restaurant salads, which is what makes it so yummy. So that you can also use toasted tortilla chips. Like I said, you make bread into croutons, you get crunch. You make roti into noodles and you bake that until it's crisp, you get a crunch from that. Bean sprouts, moong sprouts, the long bean sprouts give a nice crunch. So make sure your salad has at least one crunch component to keep it fun. Yeah, roasted makhana, but just remember, whatever crunch component, make sure you add it in the end. Yeah, Lonavala chicky, why not? So instead of eating a whole bar of chicky, just imagine you're just crushing a small piece of chicky, but it's going to add so much flavor and fun to your salad. But make sure you always add it in the end as a garnish, and don't mix it along with the salad. So then your the crunch will be lost. So there's no fun in adding this, right? Now the fifth component, a very important component, and I don't recommend you skipping this at all, the protein. So I'm a vegetarian, and it's always recommended that you keep a watch that you're eating protein in every meal, and the same goes for salad. Even if you skip carbs, it's okay, but don't skip protein. It just makes it so much more filling. It gives you that extra bit of protein in your meal to compensate for the entire protein requirement for the day. So all kinds of beans and lentils. So be it chickpeas, which is chole, kabuli chana, the rajma, black-eyed peas, which is lobia, or karamani as it's called in Tamil, sprouts, moong sprouts, or just cooked moong, soaked and cooked moong. There's paneer, there is tofu, white beans. So there's literally a whole, and in India we get such a rich variety of beans and dals. So even whole masoor dal, you can, the brown ones, you can use in your salad, just about anything. So just one tip is, when you're using these beans, you make sure you cook them, but it should not be overcooked that it is becoming mushy, because it needs to retain its shape, but it needs to be cooked. And then you can lightly saute it in oil with some spices, so that each one of it also gets some flavor, because in the end sprouts also, you can add sprouts. And so that, especially bigger beans like this kabuli chana and rajma, sometimes they tend to be tasteless in the whole salad, because if you're just tossing it and eating it, it may not catch much of the dressing, and you can add more flavor to it by mixing this together. And the last component, which is I just put it as extras, are all these gourmet ingredients that you are making salad for a party or for friends. You can add some of these extras which make it a little more gourmet, or a little bit more fancy. Things like olives, all kinds of nice cheese, uh, feta, parmesan, etc. Again, add it in the end. Don't mix everything together. Nuts, seeds. You can add chia seeds, all kinds of seeds, toasted flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds. So toasting the seed makes it a little more aromatic and makes it a bit crisper. So yeah, I do recommend toasting seeds for the salad. You can add it raw if you are short of time, but feel free to toast it if you have the time. It tastes better. And things like caramelized candied nuts that I told you about, candied walnuts, and edible flowers, my favorite ingredient because I find it in my garden. But when you're using edible flowers, please make sure that even if it's grown in your windowsill, it's good, because you don't know, when you buy flowers from outside, they're most likely sprayed with pesticides and stuff. So please don't use those flowers petals to add to your thing. I recommend toasting all seeds for extra flavor, but toast a small quantity because toasted seeds go bad quicker than non-toasted seeds. So please keep it in the freezer to last longer, but take a little bit. You can even just put it in the microwave for like a minute or minute and a half and it gets nicely toasted. So edible flowers, pretty much a lot like marigold is edible, nasturtiums are edible, violas are edible, pansies are edible. A lot of flowers are edible, as long as it's grown for eating purposes and not grown as for decorations. So these are the 6 components that we spoke about. We have nearly crossed our 35-minute time limit for the day. But let me conclude. I have the last bit to share with you. So quick recap. The components table includes 6 parts. First one was the greens. Second was the carbs. Third is the color. Fourth is the crunch. Fifth is the protein. And sixth is the extras. So literally with this table in mind, you just pick one ingredient from each column and your salad is ready. Because we're not going to look at classic combinations or what is well-known combination. You can literally make your own combination. That is the beauty of the salad. As long as you can eat it, it's cool and it's a valid salad, okay? And the one little thing before we wrap up. Now, how to chop, chopping for a salad. It makes all the difference, which is why I never buy these pre-cut things, or I never outsource the chopping for the salad, because it is the make or break when you're dealing with fruits and vegetables, okay? So all those who are just joining in, please don't worry. This whole thing is going to be saved as the IGTV, and I'll be sharing the link of the IGTV on my stories. So you can literally catch up from the first minute onwards, and you can go through the whole thing, and every episode is going to be logged into the IGTV, so don't worry if you've missed it. Okay, so chopping for the salad, the last part that we're talking about. I would like to give you the example of a carrot. Now, if you give me like 2 kilos of carrots, and I can actually make a different carrot salad every day of the week, and just by changing the chopping techniques. So a carrot can be sliced, it can be cubed, it can be cut into matchsticks, it can be cut into juliennes. You can make noodles using a spiralizer or a peeler. You can shave it into ribbons. You can grate it, and then you can also like roast it or ferment it. So there's so many ways you can deal with one vegetable. So just imagine how much you can actually do. I mean, this whole in creativity is in how to cut, how to cook, how to season. So literally everything gets different. So regarding the spiralizer and some other things, implements to use for salad making is one of a full episode in which we'll be talking about all that. So stay tuned. So to recap what we did today, we spoke about why do we eat salads in the first place. What kinds of salads are there, like a tossed, composed, chopped salad, a leafy salad, a compound salad, right? And we talked about the different levels of salad, which is the base, the body, the garnish, and the dressing. And we talked about how a salad should be made like a chart to make it really appetizing, and how to infuse a lot of flavor, texture, color. What are the 6 main components you should look at when you're adding ingredients to your salad, and how chopping techniques influence your end result of the salad. And the last thing that you have to remember while making salads, after all, this is raw food, so hygiene is of utmost importance. So even when we go out to eat, salad is not the first thing on my mind to order, because I know that as much as we take care in our home, it's very difficult to predict if a restaurant has taken that much care, because all the ingredients are raw. So make sure you wash your hands thoroughly. Nowadays we are washing our hands literally the whole day, so I think we are all safe there. But make sure your chopping board is clean. Never use the same chopping board to chop meat and then the vegetables and fruits. You should have separate chopping boards for meat and vegetables. Make sure your bowl is clean. Make sure the bottle in which you make your dressing is clean, because after all, we are eating everything raw. It's not going to be cooked. So you need to take more care when you're making raw food. It is healthy for us, but at the same time, we have to be careful that it is also safe for us. And so with that, I shall end this episode. I hope you all liked it. Let me just quickly take a few questions here which are relevant to this episode. Don't worry if your questions are going to be addressed in the next episodes. That's when I'm not going to answer it right now. Okay, thank you. I'm not going to okay. Don't stop your lives, Aditi says, even after the series gets over. Okay, if I get enough confidence to continue, I will. Okay, thanks. Yes, spiralized is one of the ways you can cut this for sure. Kiddie lunchbox series. My kid is grown up and he eats in school, so that's when I had to stop his lunchbox. But now he's eating at home. I'm just going through some of your comments. Which are the edible flowers? I did address that. Marigold, nasturtium, viola. And literally, if you grow any vegetable or fruit in your house, you can use those flowers, because it's good. Dressings, I have a full episode on dressings. We are going to discuss a lot about it. Firdaus, how to use paneer? Raw is fine. You can also use it lightly sauteed in the pan. You can use that grill pan with the grill marks to grill the whole bar of paneer on it. But first wipe the paneer off all the moisture, otherwise it will not catch the grill marks. So, and then you can chop it into cubes and add it, or you can even crumble paneer like feta into your salad. No problem there. My 49 Indian salad recipe book, that's on my blog. All the salads are listed there. I will surely share the link in my stories, Renu. I will share the link to that, okay? And can one eat zucchini raw? You can absolutely eat it raw, but I personally like to microwave it for like just 30 seconds, so it's not like fully raw. And yes, spiralizers are a bit expensive. They're like around 3,000 for the full one. There's a full episode on spiralizer. I'll address on that, okay? Anubhuti, that girl in muddy boots, absolutely. Once you start making these kind of combinations, there's no stopping you, because there's no end to your creativity in making a salad. You can really enjoy the process and see. Brown rice is great in salads, absolutely. Spiralizer, again, I will even show you. I hope to show you. And a lot of zucchini questions. Okay. See, locally grown greens, nowadays everything is grown locally. Even kale, Swiss chard, butterhead lettuce, all kinds of radicchio, everything is grown locally. So nothing, because it's sold for 50-60 bucks, nothing is grown abroad and imported, especially green leafy vegetables, because it won't last a day also in transport. So arugula, no, you don't have to use the massage technique. It's very delicate green, absolutely raw. Don't do anything to it. It's very delicate. Microgreens, absolutely. I'm sorry, I should have included that in one of the components. I missed it. Swiss chard, you can, but saute it. Don't eat it raw. It's quite tough. Okay. And amaranth, red as Amarnath. It always happens. That's good humor there. Don't like to eat green leaves in the monsoons. Yeah, so there's a whole episode on salads without lettuce and without greens. So Rupika, please come for that, and we can talk all about it. Yes, this live is going to be saved. Maximum questions are on that. Uh, okay, someone is asking me for masala dosa. Maybe I'll talk about it on my main feed and not in the series. Okay, how to keep it fresh for longer, especially with leafy vegetables. Okay, I am talking about it in one of the future episodes, so I think. What kind of cheese if we don't want to pay a bomb? A lot of times, especially in Bangalore, we have this supplier called Vallombrosa cheese, and they make everything locally. And what I hear is they've learned from some Italian monks, and they follow all the processes to the T, and we get it for a reasonable price. So look at some of the local businesses who are making a good quality cheese, because I honestly myself don't pay a bomb and get imported cheese. It makes absolutely no sense, and many a times we don't end up using the whole thing that we bought, and it goes waste as well. So please look for local businesses and buy those cheeses, and it doesn't matter, you can use whatever you get. I see a lot of laughs. I don't know what was I saying. Something funny, or people are just laughing in general. Okay, I think I have scrolled through everything. Okay, so I think the recap is done, and I should tell you what the next episode is about. Okay, I think I have misplaced that sheet. So yeah, I'll share it in my stories, and I'm going to save this to IGTV. You can all check this out, and I hope it was an informative session. Please give me your feedback. More than welcome. Was I too fast? Was I repetitive? Were you able to hear me all right? And anything else that you would like me? It's a 14 episode series, so I would love to improve. So please give me your feedback, and thank you all my old workshop attendees who came back for a recap on this one. They know all of this and more, but they still come back to support me. Thank you so much. And all those who recently started following me, I have shared a lot of recipes on my feed, and there's more than 800 recipes on my blog. I'll keep giving you the links to the same. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for spending this afternoon with me, and I had a lovely time chatting with you. Goodbye.